Alright, this is Sammie doing 50 free. I'm playing it back in slow motion so we can get a really good look. Okay, one thing I want to point out with your streamline is that your streamline is starting from your hands. Okay, when we do that, we create a little bit of drag. We want to keep those hands perfectly still in that streamline. Okay, and we want the dolphin kicks to come from our chest only. So the dolphin kicks are coming from your chest. We just have to do a better job of just keeping those hands still. So don't put your head and your arms into it, just your chest. Okay? Another thing I want to point out is see right here. Okay? Your head is pretty much coming out of the water when you're starting your stroke. Alright? So your head in freestyle should be looking right there where your eyes are looking the entire time. Okay, so you can see when we start swimming here that your eyes are very high. Alright, you're looking almost forward. Okay, we want you to get that head down and to look down towards the bottom of the pool. See, right now you're kind of creating this big wall here, okay, for the water to hit you. So we want to make sure that our eyes are pointing down a little bit more, the water line is on our head a little bit higher, and that will create a better streamline for your stroke. Alright. Okay, one thing I want to point out too here is that we're dropping our elbows. Sorry, I'm just going to turn the volume down here a little bit. Okay, so we're dropping our elbows. So you can see that as soon as your hand enters, it's going all the way down. Okay, so your hands are entering. You can see it on this arm too, is that you're entering and that you're pulling with a straight arm. Okay, we don't want to do that. That takes a lot of energy, and you don't really get a lot out of it. What we want to do is we want to see your hand enter here, and for your elbow and your bicep to stay near the surface. And then when we start pulling, we want your elbow to bend, okay, and your hand to press back towards your hips. Okay, so we need to keep those elbows nice and high on the surface. We can't let them drop like that. They're dropping way too far, and you're missing some of your pull. Okay, another thing I want to point out here is that we're not getting a good press out the back of our stroke. Okay, so you can see your elbow is really, really low right there. Okay, and then our hand is kind of coming out. We're not pressing all the way back past our hip. We're lifting our hand out at the waist. Okay, so we're missing some of our pull. So we need to work on that as well. Okay, you can see it a bit better on the other side of your stroke, but it's happening on both sides. So we need to keep those elbows popped, and we need to press our hands all the way back past our hips. Okay, here we go again. Get you into the picture there. Okay, another thing I want you to notice is look how much your head is moving. Every time you take a stroke, your head goes back and forth, back and forth. All right? We're looking too far ahead, okay? And our head is going back and forth. And the only time really our head is going to move is when we breathe, okay? So this back and forth motion every time when you're not breathing, that's really slowing you down. Okay, so we need to keep that head totally still, get those eyes looking down at the bottom, not ahead, keeping those elbows popped. That's really going to give you the advantage here. If we keep, you're doing a good job of rotating, but we don't rotate the head. Okay, so just keep that in mind, is that our body is rotating, but the head does not rotate. It stays totally, totally still, and just your shoulders are going to be the ones rotating. All right. I want to look at this hand right here. Okay, so you look like you're getting a finish there. I just saw something on this last stroke here, and I wanted to see if I could. Okay, it's hard to see. But see your hand there? It's kind of opening, so you're kind of slicing back, all right? This has to do with your elbows being popped. So if your elbows popped up high to the surface and you're pressing out the back, you're going to use that forearm and that hand to press. But it looks like here that you're missing some of that pull, and you're not using your hand to press. You're flexing your wrist, and you're kind of slicing, and the only thing you're pressing with is going to be like that heel of your hand. So we want to make sure we get that big pull all the way at the back. See, that looks a little bit better there, but you are missing some of it. Now remember, your pull is going to be one motion. So you're kind of doing an S pull. So you see that there, and then swish out the back. We don't want to do that. We want to enter here, have the elbow popped, that forearm's going to be bent at the elbow, and then it's one smooth motion, a press all the way back past our hips. Okay? So a couple things to work on, not anything that's not fixable. All right, number one, we want to get that streamline in check. We want to check, make sure it's coming from our chest and not from our hands. Number two is we're lifting our head way too high out of the streamline, and we're also lifting it while we swim. Okay, that water line wants to be halfway from your hairline to the back of your head. So you want to be looking down at the pool at a 45-degree angle. And we want to keep that head entirely still until we breathe. Okay, we don't want to have that back and forth swishing motion every time we take a break. The last thing was those elbows, and we did touch on that just a second ago. But the elbows are really, really important here. So you're missing that top of that pull, okay? So every time you enter here, and your hand drops as soon as you enter, so see that drop, and you're bending your elbow about right there. So right now we're missing that much pull. Okay, we're not catching the top of the water. We need to reach, bend that elbow, grab that water, and press it all the way back. Okay, so keep those in mind. I'm going to get you to watch these videos. We're going to make some cue cards. Okay, we're going to have them right by the side of the pool, so we'll get a reminder all the time about what we need to fix. If you can consciously fix this, like, you'll drop some time and you're free, and you'll be really, really close to that regional time. So if we can get that corrected within the next couple weeks, we can train that when we come back in January. You can go to that laser blast meet, and we'll get you your regional time. Okay, good job.